Hey everybody, Roxabox90 here with day 6 of Journey into Nyx spoilers. We got a bunch of great stuff to look at today, including a new god coming out of packs. So let's jump right in and see what we got. First up, we have Polymorphous Rush, 2 and a blue. For an instant speed spell with Strive, it costs 1 and a blue more to cast for each target, so reasonable Strive cost. Choose a creature on the battlefield. Any number of target creatures you control, each becomes a copy of that creature until the turn. I like it. I love, of course, the flavor, just the art, everything about the card. It's well costed. I don't really see it being a huge splash in standard. It doesn't really act. It's too limited a form of removal, and most of the time, if you're just simply making a copy of your opponent's creature, I don't see it being quite strong enough for its cost. It's only one turn after all. I mean, of course, it could act as a form of removal. You turn your creature to a duplicate of theirs, and then the two creatures kill each other. But that seems kind of ridiculous and very narrow for its use. However, EDH Commander, I think this card is ridiculous. For the one hand being that in a format where things like Eldrazi come into play more regularly, this card is much less of a risky option. Most of the time you'll be able to, even for just a turn, gain access to enormous effects. And I think that it could definitely see some play in EDH Commander in the right decks. I like it a lot. Limited, I think it's also pretty decent if you're as like a splash spell. Even if it's a form of removal, I think it's more useful in limited format than maybe it would be in more constructed formats. Then we have Athreos, God of Passage, the cheapest god by, or actually not technically, Thassa costs 3 also, but the cheapest one we've seen so far from the multicolored gods. 1, a white, and a black. Athreos of Passage looks gorgeous, of course. Legendary creature god, blah blah blah, indestructible, devotion. Whenever another creature you own dies, return it, and you own, realize, so if someone steals the creature, own dies, return it to your hand unless target opponent pays 3 life. 5/4 for 3. That is insane value. Absolutely insane. 3 mana for a 5/4 creature with this ability. Whenever another creature you own dies, return to your hand unless target opponent pays 3 life. Wow. I'm not going to say things like Angel of Serenity with this card, which is insane on its own, that you get it back to your hand repeatedly. The fact that it's the equivalent of a lightning bolt, and every single time a creature you own dies, because especially late game, your opponent doesn't want you getting back your big creatures. Wow. Also realize we still have things like Cartel Aristocrat in Standard, where you sack a creature, so the Cartel Aristocrat shenanigans we've seen die off could very well come back. Fits right into the colors. Black, white, weenies, or aggro, I definitely think have a chance. Look at Zathra Necromancer. You remember this guy? From M14, he's still in Standard. When he or another human creature you control dies, you get a 2/2 black zombie. So it just scales. Wow. I love this guy. I think his weakest format is EDH Commander, to be honest. 3 life is far less effective. Yes, it's something that over time will eat away at people's life totals if they keep preventing you constantly from getting back, but I don't think it's going to take quite an amount of work to make it worth its value. Other formats, though, I mean, put this into things, considering things like Melirapod or in Standard, this card could potentially be absolutely insane. And of course, with aggro decks, it gives you pure value over and over again. You get your creatures for replaying, or your opponent loses a ton of life. Absolutely amazing. I think potentially the most expensive, if not best god so far from the multicolor side of things. I know we said Iroas is amazing, and I do think he is, but Athreos at his cheap cost is just going to be so much more effective for the decks he will probably see play in. I'm calling him being the most expensive god at the moment, and I love him. I think he's really well designed, and he's going to be a chase card for this set without a question. Then we have Hydra Broodmaster, which looks really cool. 6 for a 7/7. Wow. XX and 1 for Monstrosity X. When Hydra Broodmaster comes monstrous, you get XXX green Hydra creatures. This reminds me of a card, Gelatinous Genesis, which I've used in EDH before. Same effect, literally, just pasted onto a new huge creature. So, of course, in Limited, this card is absolutely bonkers and insane. Probably even better in some ways than many of the mythics in the set for Limited. This XX cost, you may think, oh my god, it's like Polymorphous again. But realize Polymorphous and Hydra Broodmaster both fit with Crewfix very well. Crewfix's ability scales into them because it's colorless, scales into them. So in terms of synergies, guys, Polymorphous, Hydra Broodmaster, both of them are insane. with Crewfix, and I could definitely see some F&M homebrews really killing it with these kinds of cards and those kinds of effects. I don't know if it's quite powerful enough for standard. We'll have to see how strong. Well, we have green. We have various forms of monster decks in standard. This guy could potentially find his way in there, although Plaquenos, of course, is much better costed. But I like it a lot. I think your EDH will be a lot of fun too. It scales very, very well. The creature itself becomes huger, and you get all these other big creatures. Fantastic. I really like it. Then we have, last up, I believe, King Macar the Gold Curse. Finally, a Midas card. King Midas, the gold Greek mythos. 2 and 2 black, legendary human. Okay, cool. So maybe EDH here. Inspired. When it becomes untapped, you may exile target creature. If you do, you put a colorless artifact token named Gold onto the battlefield. It has sacked the card. Add 1 mana. It's a 2/3 for 4. Wow. All right. As an EDH commander player, I love this guy off the bat. I think his inspired mechanic is very strong, although of course it's going to require a Voltron build because he's going to get killed very quickly if not. He's just too strong a removal engine. But I think he's reasonably costed, will probably be a very powerful commander. I could even see him being a utility card in a lot of decks. I love that they made him legendary. It fits the flavor. The art is gorgeous. Everything about this card I am a huge fan of. And I love that they found another way to use gold, the gold tokens that we've seen before. So, wow. Huge fan. So, those are the spoilers we have today. We have the King Macar, the Gold Cursed. We have Athreos, God of Passage, and more. So, let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think of these spoilers? If you enjoyed the video, tap the like button. And if you're new to the channel, check in and subscribe. Stay tuned for more Journey into Nyx spoilers as they come. Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.